Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The government's reaction to the earthquake, the terrible earthquake in Canterbury, was swift.
Order.
It was entirely appropriate and shows the depth of concern and care that every member of the government benches and indeed across the House have shown for the events that have unfolded in Canterbury. I don't need to rehearse to the House the impact that it has had on all of those people in Canterbury. MP for Selwyn, Amy Adams, has done that, and I don't think any other contribution can really express to the House what it is like for those people living in Christchurch. Today there was another aftershock, one of some 260 aftershocks. This is to be expected for another couple of weeks, I understand, but the shock this morning was over 6.1 on the Richter scale, and taken in isolation, that event would be enough to cause damage and terror amongst people. But this is now day 5 of this event, and as Amy Adams expressed, the ongoing sense of fear, anxiety and terror, particularly amongst children and older folk, is something that is of great concern to this government. The Prime Minister went down to Canterbury just as fast as he was able, and that was noted and appreciated by the people of Canterbury, as has been the response by Mayor Bob Parker. And there has been extensive news coverage about the earthquake in Canterbury. Most of that coverage seems to have included footage of Mayor Bob Parker with the sleeves rolled up, getting stuck in and doing what he can to help. I want to pay tribute to the other members of Parliament from across the House who also have rolled up their sleeves and have got stuck in to help the people of Canterbury and Christchurch, because that help will need to continue. With today's announcement that the state of emergency, I am sorry that the member across the House, Darren Hughes, is choosing to make light of this debate. Those of us on the government benches do take this issue very seriously, and it is regrettable that the Labour Party don't seem to share that same sense of responsibility on our ongoing responsibilities in our reaction to this earthquake. I think that is regrettable, but I think it is notable that you will not see that on the government side. Mr. Speaker, it was announced today that the state of emergency in Christchurch will be extended for another 7 days. I think that is a very telling decision which speaks to the sheer breadth and depth of damage that is happening in Christchurch and the degree of fear for the safety of civilians that is happening in that city. Our civil defence emergency management system has worked exactly as it should have. All the people on the ground in Canterbury are doing an amazing job. Many of those people in civil defence, in the police, in the military, volunteers, council people have literally dropped everything, have left the crises that they have in their own homes, have put those concerns aside and are continuing to do that to help out. The response from my own electorate of Waitaki, yes, we felt the earthquake. Yes, it woke a number of people up and a number of people were fearful. The damage in my own electorate has been minimal, but I do want to extend my concern and condolences to the Ackland family of Mount Peel Station, whose lovely old stone church, the Church of the Innocents, sustained some considerable damage, and the sense of loss they must feel at many, many generations of family history being destroyed must be terrible, and I extend to them and to the other families who have lost mementos of past family experiences. I want to extend to them my condolences as well. Mr. Speaker, I just want, in the time I have remaining, to spare a thought for the young people because a lot of them do come from my electorate. They go to Christchurch to study, or maybe they go to earn a living. They might, as I did many years ago, work in the centre of Christchurch. I worked in a takeaway bar and a sandwich bar. Now, I literally lived from one pay to the next, and maybe not quite from one pay to the next. So I just want to applaud the government for bringing in the initiatives that is going to support businesses and their employees. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The time for this debate has expired. So we call now on private and local order of the day number 1.